Alright, good morning everybody. So today I'm back here with another plugin review, this time once again from my good friend Ryan over at RevoltDSP. So if any of you have been keeping track, last time I tested out his new EVO Amp Lite, which is a free plugin, which I'll have linked down below, and then the video is up in the cards up above me here. And today I'm presenting to you his new EVO Amp Suite, which is a suite of amps instead of just one amp. And this one is paid. And at the time of me filming this video, this plugin is going for only $51 US. Obviously, if you're in a different country, you need to do the math there yourself. And you're going to actually be able to get a discount on it by using the discount code in my description down below. But I want to talk about why this amp suite is so sick. So this amp suite builds on what was already, in my opinion, an incredible plugin, being the EVO Amp Lite, but it adds a lot more amps and a lot more variety into the fray here. As I've said, you have additional amp heads, you have additional cabinets, and you have additional effects this time, which we're going to get into all of that in a little bit here. And I just wanted to say before we get into all of that, that although Ryan did send me this plugin for free, he did not ask for me to make a video and he did not pay me to make a video. I'm doing this of my own volition, so this is not a sponsored post. I'm just a guitar tone nerd and I love making videos like this. So as we jump into it, as always, I'm using my GOC Guitars Illumina Plus, and this is rocking the new Aurora Tone Earth Crusher pickups, which are a rail style pickups. So these are higher output and they're gonna sound sick through this amp suite. You'll see that in a second here too. But other than that, there's nothing else going on between the guitar and the plugin itself except for a tuning pedal, which obviously is not coloring the tone at all. So let's go ahead and dive into Logic Pro here and we can get started. So as you can see here, once you open up the EVO Amp Suite for the first time, you're going to be presented with what looks like a Marshall amp, right? And you'd be right, this is a Marshall 59 Super Lead. Really, really sick amp. I love the graphics that he made here as well. You've got the little auto transformer built in and everything. Got the colors really well done here. But when we click through here, so we've got the Flexi, which is the Marshall Super Lead as I was talking about. We've got the Block, which is a Block Letter 5150. Then we have the 5153, which is still to this day my personal favorite like real amplifier. So 5153 with the 6L6 tubes in it, and then the EL34 stealth version of that same exact amp. So again, two of my favorite amps out there actually. We do also have the pre and post effects. So in the pre we have a noise suppressor, a compressor, an overdrive, and a phaser. Then you have the effects loop simulating obviously how you'd be putting these effects in the effects loop if you were using a real pedal board. And that would be the chorus, the stereo delay, and the reverb. Now in the cab section, what's cool here is you do have, 4 different cabs to choose from, and you can bypass them entirely if you want to, which means you can add your own impulse responses. For the sake of this demo, I'm not putting any other impulse responses in here. I want you to hear this plugin exactly how it was meant to be heard, with the cab sections that are put into it itself. Lastly, you do have the EQ section, and this is a great 10-band EQ that's extremely usable, so that way you can clean up the tone and shape it to your preference and get to your desired result quite a bit quicker, and without having to use any third-party plugins aside from what's built into this one itself. So he really did mean EVO Amp Suite when he named this suite, right? Now, going back to the cab section, there are some specific cabs in here. So the Flexi cab is going to be a 1960 style cab with 25-watt greenbacks inside of it. The Thal cab is actually a blend of a Mesa oversized cabinet and an orange cabinet. The 6L6 cab is actually a blend of a vintage 30 and a creamback speaker inside of it. And then the mega oversized cab is exactly what it sounds like. It's a Mesa oversized cabinet with V30s inside of it. So exactly what you would think it would be too. All right, so now that we've got all that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into the amp itself. And let's go ahead and start out on the Marshall style amp, and we're going to dial in a quick tone here. I do have the noise suppressor already turned on and the overdrive clicked on as well. So this is what it's going to sound like. If we look at the cab section, I have it on the Flexi cab here. One really cool thing to note here is as you click through the different menus, it keeps the amp settings available to you, just like in the EVO Amp Lite, which is extremely useful as you're dialing things in. I'm gonna go back to the pre section here, and we're just gonna play through what this default tone is. Already really heavy, right? Let's go ahead and pull the drive down on this overdrive, and let's go ahead and bring the level down a little bit. I think I have the noise suppressor a little bit too aggressive there. All right, so there's the overdrive that I want in there. Let's go ahead and look at the amp section itself now. Let's go ahead and listen to this little variac knob here. It's actually really sick. So you're able to control things pretty granularly with that if you want to. All right, now if we go down here, I think I have a little bit too much treble in here and a little bit too much presence. Let's go ahead and crank the presence down. And we'll push the bass a little bit. All right, that's definitely doing the thing. Let's go in here with a couple of different cabs. So we're on the Flexi cab right now. Let's go ahead and switch to the Thal cab. So definitely darker, a little bit less of that high-end like hair to it. Let's go ahead and switch to the 6L6 cab now. Immediately brings back some of that hair and that high end. And we'll go to the Mesa oversized cab. I think I just always end up loving the Mesa oversized cabinets in any amp. I don't know what it is about them. I know that there's something great about the speakers that are in them, usually the vintage 30s, but they always just do the thing for me. I don't know about you guys, but which of these cabs so far have sounded better for the Marshall style amp? Let me know in the comments down below. We're gonna switch to another amp now though, so let's go ahead and go back to the amp section. Let's go to everybody's favorite Blockletter 5150, or supposedly everyone's favorite Blockletter 5150. I think that a lot of people are actually being swayed to like the 5153s a little bit more, myself included. All right, let's go ahead and go to the cab section. Which cab do we want? I think we'll stick with the Mesa oversized. Let's go ahead and gain match this a little bit. All right, so instantly I know that I need to go clean things up a little bit more on the overdrive. So we have it on already, but let's go ahead and bring the tone up all the way. Damn, that sounds monstrous, honestly. Sounds really sick. In the cab section, I am gonna bring the lows down a little bit, and I'm gonna bring the presence down too. And some of the resonance. Oh, I have the gain up way too high for me too. Let's go ahead and bring down the gain. All right, let's go ahead and bring the post gain up a little bit more. Alright, that sounds sick. And again, I think we're just on the same cab as before the Mega Oversized. Yeah, you're gonna see a theme there. That's gonna be my favorite. Let's go ahead and listen to it on the 6L6 cab though. Gotta turn on my guitar again. All right, let's go ahead and listen to the Thal cab. So I'm hearing a little bit more mid-heavy, obviously a little bit darker of a cab there. I think that a mix of the Thal cab with the Mega Oversized cab would actually sound really, really sick. All right, and last one on here is the Flexi cab, so let's see how that one sounds. There you go, there's some sloppy riffing for y'all. All right, so the 5150 Blockletter definitely does it. Let's go ahead and move over to a 5153 now. And then again, I believe we're going to be starting over on the Flexi cab, so we'll hear that. Obviously, I'm going through each of the cabs as we go as well, so. All right, and I have to crank the volume on this a little bit because I had it lower earlier when I was testing. All All right, and again, we're gonna pull down the gain. Whoa, my light is having a freak out. All right, sorry about that, y'all. If you all see my light flashing in the background here, it is just having a fit for some reason, so give me a sec while I turn that off. All right, so no more cool lights in the background. I guess that's my sign to not buy some of the cheap lights on Amazon anymore? I don't know. All right, let's get back into this. So we've got the 5153 with the 6L6s, and we're on the flexi cab right now. I brought the gain down a little bit and the volume up. I just already like that like mid-forward sound of it. The 5153 is still by far my favorite amp out there. All right, feeling a little bit squishy there, so let's go ahead and drive the level up a little bit further on the overdrive pedal. All right, and then we can bring down the gain a little bit here more. And again, for those of you that are maybe getting different results as you're trying this out yourself as well, I do have some fairly hot pickups in this guitar right now, so that could be why. All right, let's go ahead and try a different cab now. Let's go into the Thal cab, again with that darker sound. Let's go into the 6L6 cab now. And then the mega oversized cab. All right, and then the last amp model we're gonna try today is the EL34. So this is the stealth mod version of the 5153. And again, not only does it look ridiculously sick, but this is my favorite amp both in real life and on this plugin itself. All right, let's crank that gain down a little bit, or a lot of it. Gonna bring the presence down a little bit. And we'll bring down some of the lows there as well. And now we'll play around with the cabs a little bit. Let's go to the 6L6 cab and see how that one sounds, which has been growing on me actually. I thought I liked the mega oversized the most, but I think the 6L6 is actually growing. All right, Thal cab. Yeah, that one just does a thing for me. I know that sounds a little bit darker here, but in a mix that would sound really sick. And last up is going to be the flexi cab, so let's go ahead and take a listen to that one. Yeah, see, I don't know if I like that one for this amp specifically. It definitely fits the Marshall style amp a little bit better. I'm going to go back to the 6L6 cab on here because that seems to be the one that I like the most for this specific amp. And I think I want to mess with the EQ a little bit here too. So we have just the settings that it's been set at here. If we check out what it's got a boost at right now, it's got a boost at 65 Hertz. Let's go ahead and listen. And let's go ahead and turn off this. All right, so let's go ahead and turn it back on, and I'm going to zero out everything, and let's go ahead and do what I would normally do to an EQ. So let's go ahead and 0, 0, 0, all of these out. Okay, now we're going to give it a boost at 8K, so that's how we're sounding right now. Let's go ahead and give it a little bit of a boost, probably 2 to 3 dB. And that's a little bit too loud, so let's go ahead and crank it down. All right, so I lowered the volume to compensate for that a little bit. We do have a boost now at the 8K, and we're going to take the 4K and I'm going to pull it back a little bit. See how that sounds. All right, let's go ahead and bump the 2K a little bit more. Let's see how it sounds for some bigger chords. All right, so it's getting that brightness coming through now. Let's give it a bump at like 125 and see what kind of resonance we get there. Let's go back. Okay, definitely like a little bit of a bump there. All right, still want those to ring out a little bit more, so let's go ahead and give it a little bit of a bump at 4K. Yeah, that did it. I think we have a little bit of a volume boost there too, so let's go ahead and bring that down. That noise suppressor is putting in work, man. That actually cuts it off really, really well and pleasingly. It's not like cutting it jarringly. I actually think I can pull back on the level a little bit on the drive. Maybe add a little bit more back. All right, you always can tell when I get lost in the sauce a little bit there that I'm actually really digging this plugin. So that specifically is, again, my favorite one on here, favorite one in real life as well. That's EVH5153, the EL34 specifically with the stealth mod, and it sounds just sick, to be honest with you. So Ryan, great job on that, dude. It sounds fantastic. And literally all of that was all done within the plugin. I have not used any third-party impulse responses, any other plugins, no EQs, no post-processing whatsoever going on here. So it's really easy to get all of this done just in the plugin itself, and it is a standalone as well as working inside of a DAW, so you can use it any which way that you want to. And it is available now. So remember, make sure to use my discount code down in the description below so that way you can get a discount on this. I mean, this plugin's only $51 to begin with, so it's not like it's super expensive for everything that you get out of it as well. So I really hope that you all check out this plugin. Let me know if you like it. Let me know if you want to hear any different tones with it. I know I need to do some lead tones. I didn't do any of those today because I'm not very confident in my leads yet. I'm getting there, so don't you all worry. All right, talk to you all soon. Peace.